Welcome everybody. It is July 9th. I have a huge update that I want to get into. First, we're going to have Steve here, Viking Steve, a member from my community, is going to talk about a business that he's been working on the last 18 months. We've had him on the last few weeks. He wanted to give us an update about what's going on. I'm really excited to talk with him. Also, well, of course, we're going to talk about the market and where where Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and all that stuff is. I have a few videos that are kind of floating around Twitter right now that I think are impactful of where Bitcoin price is heading. We're going to talk about exchanges. We're going to talk about where money is going in funding. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin monthly chart. I have a really great chart pulled up here that I want to show you. We're going to talk about the TON ecosystem. I spent a few hours yesterday going through the top wallets for TSE, which is TON season, and TCAT. I want to show you kind of what I've been seeing and what other people have been buying in these top wallets. I have some stuff on Pump Fund, some stuff on TA. There's a new node project that's launching next week called Lumia. The partners for Lumia are pretty insane. I want to show you that and how much those nodes are. I also have some stuff on the economy, just all kinds of crypto news. So this is going to be a really good chat. Want to go ahead and turn it over to Steve really quickly. I know you wanted to touch base and tell us some updates. So Steve, without further ado, why don't you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, hi everyone. So we have the product going live tomorrow. It'll be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. There is no rush. I know a lot of people got a lot of emails, DMs. Yeah, I want the code, I want the code. There's no rush. You have 60 days to use the code. So it is the pre-sale. So you're fine. You don't have to rush or anything. I am working right now. It's a few things are not... haven't gone quite as well as I'd expected, so I had to switch to a different shipping service. The reason being is now once I've got it correctly set up, it's a bit complicated. You'll actually be able to see all taxes and duties when you ship internationally, so you're going to know what you're actually going to be paying. And you can pay upfront, or you can risk it and pay when it gets there, but it could get stuck in customs. Sometimes they let it through. It's up to you. So I'm trying to work out how I can give that option for you. So there's not going to be any surprise fees, where there was one in Argentina that I was looking up, and it was a 36% duty. And I was like, they were not going to be happy if they got that. So I adjusted the tax code to something that, it resembles my product and is a much, much lower tax code. So they're only going to have a 1% duty tax rather than 36%. So there's a lot of different things I'm having to do last minute. But as long as everything keeps going smoothly-ish, it will be all ready tomorrow morning.
So Steve, what's the call to action then? What if people want to participate? And I'm trying to find the website so I can pull it up here without going into our DMs. I'm just kind of scrolling through. What do you want people to do today if they want to participate? Did you post it? That would be super helpful. No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to grab it.
All right.
So this is the last day for the pre-sale sign up. So the pre-sale sign up is essentially you're getting an extra 30% off the discounted price, which works out roughly to be about 50%. That's if you are a non-Cryptonairz member. If you are a paid Cryptonairz member, you get 40% off that, which is a really, really big deal. So the bottom version, for example, which can store 3 to 6 seed phrases, is $70.
Boom.
Way, way lower than all of the other. Yeah, so if that's at 30% off, if it's 40% off, it's less than that. I'm not going to pretend I'm mathing in my head and work out what that is, but it's less than that.
All good. You're at $59. We'll just take an extra $10 off. So it should be $59 is that 40% off. So this is great, Steve. All right, so guys, if you want to sign up for this, you need to click on the link that Steve just posted in the Discord. It's his website. Go to his website. If you are a member, you can get 40% off. If you are not a member, it is all good. You can still get 30% off for the time being. And what's really great about this is it's not like it's a digital wallet, right? Where you have to worry about, does the company have a firewall, and is my stuff safe, and was, my crypto going to be hacked? This is all kind of, what would you call this, Steve? Right? What type of wallets are these? This is not, is it cold? Is it cold storage?
I don't know what. Well, it's because it's not really a wallet to store your codes; it's to store your seed phrases.
Yeah.
So it's a little, it's
We got to think of a cool name for it. We got to think of a cool name for it. All right. We got to think of world-ending seed phrase vault, right? Like when we're all gone and perished, this will still be around, and people will be trying to figure it out. What was this for? Back then, was this like for the nuclear codes, or was it just to keep your crypto safe? But all right, Steve. We really appreciate it, and thank you so much for working on this and helping keep people safe. We do appreciate it. And Steve's got a really cool video. I just want to play the video one more time because I think this is really great.
Hey, crypto people, my name's Steve. I am the owner and founder of Phoenix Vault, or myphoenixvault.com. Let's talk about seed phrases for a second. Like most people, you probably store yours on a piece of paper, which is mental. Let's get it off that paper and onto something sturdy like a Phoenix Vault. It's the whole reason I created this product. It's a way to store multiple seed phrases for multiple wallets and keep them safe from disaster. Fires, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, angry ex-girlfriends, badly behaved children, alien invasions. It'll withstand anything you throw it at. Anything you throw at it. Please don't throw it at anything. I mean, this isn't even the big one, and you can see it's pretty damn hefty. So let's not be throwing it at anything, all right? But in all seriousness, keeping your seed phrase safe is incredibly important. Putting it on paper is just not going to cut it. One little spill, that's it. Your seed phrase is gone. Let's get it off that paper and onto a Phoenix Vault. Get yours today.
I love it. Get yours today. All right, Steve. Thank you so much, man. And hey, we wish you all the success. If you have a Web3 business and you are in the community and you want help just talking about it and you want me to show it to people, by all means, DM me, reach out to me. I will support anybody that is in the community supporting me and my journey in the crypto space. And so Steve has been a long-term member. And so anything I can do to help support him, I will do. So thank you, Steve. All right, let's take a look at the market here. I am sharing my screen. Please follow along if you can. We do have some surprise guests in the audience today. There's Brian from BioFi. Looks like he's on the BioFi account, and some other people. So Brian, if you ever want to come up, just comment or give us a knock if you want to tell us or give us some updates. We would love to hear those. But we have Bitcoin, Ethereum. Bitcoin's down 6%. Still, we're at 57,931. Ethereum is down 10%. It is that $3,000. Actually, when we had this call on Friday of last week, Ethereum was at like $2,987, give or take. It was $89, right? It was $5 off 84, right? And so it was a big liquidation number. So looks like it's come up just a bit over the last few days, but still really, really hurting. BNB is down 10%. It's still at $517. Solana here at $143. I do think that is a buy. If I'm buying anything in the top 10 right now, it would be either TON or Solana. I think those are some very safe choices for this bull market. If you're looking for a very safe 2 to 3x, I do think Solana is probably the best choice there. I do think Solana could go to like $500, $600, $700 if we really are knocking it out of the park. TON coin, I think TON coin could really go like $50, $60. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a $200 billion market cap for TON. A lot of people are loving building on TON, buying projects on TON. I'm going to talk a little bit more about TON and what the team has been working on to try to help you understand what's going on in that ecosystem. Just to kind of round out the top 100 here, we have TRX is up just a tad. Avalanche is at $26. I do think Avalanche could go to $150, $175 once things get really rocking and rolling. Of course, Chainlink is still going to be here 5-10 years from now. It is very important to have oracles and pricing for all of these different crypto projects. Chainlink is something that I think will stand the test of time at $12. I do think this is a deal. You have, of course, Near Protocol. I'm not super fond of Near. I know there's some people that are bullish on it, but it's down 17%. I think people are kind of running from the hills on this one. Of course, Polygon Manic will do pretty well. I'm sure it'll go to a few dollars. Nothing really super excites me here in the top 100. I do feel like I'm chasing bigger gains with more risk. There is Render. I really like Render. Render's top 31 token, $6.48. I think that's a deal. ICP, I know there's some people in the community that are bullish on ICP. That's really great. Caspa is at 17 cents, man. I only wish I bought more Caspa when it was at a half a penny when we started originally talking about this so many months ago. Of course, you have Chronos. Cosmos down 5%, Arbitrum down 9%. Really, Ethereum and Ethereum layer 2s are hurting. Mantle's down 15%, guys. So the market is still bleeding. Look at this. IMX is at $1.27. All right, Optimism is down 10%. I mean, the whole market is hurting really bad right now. Celestia is actually up 21%. I know there's a lot of people that were shorting Celestia. It looks like it's gone the other way. Phantom down 22% at 45 cents. Jasmy Coin down 15%. Elron Gold. Anyone remember this from the last bull market? Hey, it's up 15%. That's good to see. Man, it is painful out there. And so I get it. You know, I understand that maybe you bought something a month ago or 2 months ago and it's down. I'm down too on some of my positions, but I am making I'm making more money than I thought I would be making at this point. And I'm doing that through a few different ways that we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. Part of it is being a part of a community like this, where you actually have so many people going out and looking for the next big meme coin or community coin or the next big narrative in crypto. And when you have hundreds and hundreds of people all sharing information with each other, it's really easy to find things, right? If you're doing this by yourself and you're on Twitter and YouTube and Telegram, you know, you're searching for hours and hours, it can be pretty tedious. It can be exhausting, right? And you have other things to do in life. So having people to support you in your growth, if you need help researching, it really does help. So Bitcoin can get to 100,000 by the end of the year. I definitely think Bitcoin will reach 100,000 by the end of the year. I don't think this is too far-fetched. I think September, October, November, December, you will start to see the market moving again. I know there's some people that believe August the market should pick up. It's really tough to tell right now. I will show you kind of where the market used to be, but let's listen to this really quickly. I'm not going to play the full 5 minutes, but I just want to give you a brief summary of what's being talked about on mainstream media.
Joining me now, Post 9, for his crypto outlook, among other things, is Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital. It's good to see you. Welcome back.
Good to be on.
What is going on? I know I ask you this every time, but it's such a volatile asset class that the question needs to be re-asked, because it was at north of 70 and now here we are.
Just promise me if we get to 100,000 at the end of the year, you'll invite me back.
I definitely will.
Promise me.
I definitely will.
I won't have the basketball trophy, but you have a lot of things going on at the same time. You had the German government selling some Bitcoin. You have the Mt. Gox bankruptcy, which has been a 10-year drawn-out affair, is now going to be releasing about 140,000 Bitcoins. And so Skybridge, alongside of Fortress, participated in that. And so you have a combination of these things going on at the same time, that there's been some selling pressure in the ETF. And so when that happens, Bitcoin is a volatile asset. You also had a halving, not to get into the Bitcoin jargon with you, but
I think our viewers are well versed on that.
Okay, so every time you have a halving, a result of which it forces the miners to sell some Bitcoin to keep up their revenues, which puts temporary pressure on Bitcoin, but we still love the fundamentals of Bitcoin long term. And I do think, as I said, it'll be 170,000 post-halving, but I think it can get to 100,000 by year end, but it has to chug through this slog right now. One last quick point.
Sure.
FTX is going to be releasing shortly $16 billion roughly of cash to investors that had their accounts at FTX. And so that's very good news for Bitcoin holders, I believe, because a lot of that was in Bitcoin. It got frozen in the bankruptcy. It got dollarized, unfortunately, at low numbers for Bitcoin. But it's going to go back to those account holders shortly, and we think a lot of that may flow into the assets.
Oh, I was going to ask you that. Do you think, at least for those people, right, in their minds, there's some tarnish on the story enough that they won't want to assume the risk again in crypto because of what happened to them in the first place?
All right, I don't really want to get into all of that, the risk and this and that. The fact of the matter is you have so many factors kind of going against positive movement in the market. You have people that are a little shaken right now. They're uncertain of what to do. Let's just take a look. Fear and greed index crypto. Let me just see what this is at, because this has been kind of tanking here over the last few days and people are very fearful. Look at that, 27. Last month we were at a 75. This can really show you kind of how people are feared, right? They're scared. They're not sure what to do. And usually these are the best time to buy. Now, can the market go lower? market can always go lower. But if you're looking at the long run here, the 2025 bull market over the next 12 months, you're really going to make huge gains on most of the stuff that you're in. If you've done the research, there's other people that are bullish on the technology, there's partnerships, the project that you're in is growing. I think you're going to have positive movement regardless of what chain or where that project is located. So just understand, like, these are the times that you want to be buying. When this greed index is way here in the green at 80, 85, 90, this is probably where you want to be selling. Okay, just some input from somebody that has gone through these cycles a lot over the last few years. And then this is interesting. You're seeing on the same channel, CNBC, people should consider a 2 to 5% allocation in Bitcoin. A few years ago, you were seeing these institutions and people talking about 1%. Now it's going to 2 to 5%. I truly believe in a year or two from now it'll be like 5 to 10%, right? And these numbers will keep growing. It's going to be beneficial to the entire crypto market if more institutional money goes into either ETFs or into the market in general.
Gold's market cap should Bitcoin have? What within 5 years?
Think about it this way. When you look at the price of Bitcoin, look at the denominator. Look at USD. So I'd rather really think about the USD part of Bitcoin over USD than comparing it to gold, because
when you look at what gold's valued at, it's over USD. So it's the same.
It's the same idea. It's just I think when think about what you think about the dollar and think about what you want to replace it with. Gold in its physical form is hard to move around.
That's what I mean. Bitcoin should at least. There's no reason it shouldn't be just 10% or 20% or 30% of gold.
Right.
It should be. And, poor Senator Menendez, he's like walking around with these gold bars. It's like, if he had Bitcoin, it would have been right on his...
I think they were hidden. I don't think he was carrying
them. Oh, he wasn't actually carrying them. Or it would have been a lot easier. He'd probably still be, sailing.
All right. Anyways, let's keep it going. I wanted to share some things with you. I know a lot of people currently are trading community coins. They're on, Pump Fund. They're on Moondex. They're on all of these different things, and a lot of people might be losing money. And there's probably reasons that you are losing money, and there's a few things that you could probably do to change your fate or change what you're doing. Small little tweaks can make a lot as far as making money. And so here's a tweet thread. I'm not going to go read through it all. I'm just going to go ahead and post it inside of the Discord. If you are on YouTube, you can always come into the Discord. These chats are open and free to everyone. You don't need to be a member, but these are a really good space to share ideas. And if you want me to pull up something, I can definitely pull up something. It's a little bit easier to do that. Web traffic on crypto exchanges in June. So of course we are still waiting for the July numbers once July is completed, but just take a look at this. Binance, you have monthly visits 65 million. That is a lot of people still using Binance, down 1.3%. Coinbase is down 10%, 35 million visits. Bybit, 33 million. BitGet, 30 million. OKX, 29 million. OKX is actually seeing some nice growth, so is Bybit. But for the rest of these, Whitebit, has anyone used Whitebit? I've never even heard of Whitebit. HTX down 1%. Gate.io has grown to 8%, 17 million people using that on a monthly basis or monthly visits. Bitmart, of course, rounding out the top 10 here with BingX plus 11%. And then here are some other exchanges. I do think Jupiter is going to be growing a lot here over the next few months as more and more people get into Solana, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. This is recent private funding activities among blockchain startups. I always like to look and see where money is going here. These are some of the biggest names in VCs. Usually when you're investing into a crypto project or a seed round, chances are some of these names will be already invested or you're investing alongside of these people. These are definitely the names to take a look at. So if you want to stop the screen or pause it and take a photo of this, this is actually some really good information to have. And I will post this into the Alpha Sensei channel when I am done with the chat. So you have all of these different names, but you can see how much money is being invested into different ecosystems, right? So just Send Blocks here, 8.2 million, who's investing. Sentient, this is probably the biggest one, 85 million. Lombard, 16 million. Prodia is got 15 million. Redstone, you have 15 million, and so on. So good numbers to have here. Just looking at the monthly performance for Bitcoin, we are in the month of July, and July is in fact a green month. When you look at the past, since 2011 until now, you've had 8 of the 11 or 12 months that have actually been green. So usually this is a good month for Bitcoin and crypto. We will see how it is. August usually is a little bit more red, so we'll have to take a look at that. August and September can be pretty questionable, but things should pick up. October, November, December, things should really, really be popping. If you take a look here at 2020, which is the last time the halving happened, you have 20%, 42%, and 48% respectively. This is the time right here to make the money, especially if you're trading Bitcoin. Hopefully, alts will start taking off here in August and September as Bitcoin kind of cools off. We will see how things go. All right, so the lovely Crypto Girls Experience, she has been working very hard on creating a whole document here for the TON ecosystem. We are almost done putting this all together. I know we're putting kind of a price chart here together for you, but here, if you go over the TON network, we're going to have videos, how to research about TON, tutorials on how to get money onto the TON ecosystem, PPP versus PVP. You have the charting, you have the exchanges, the Telegram, the bridges. You're going to have links to all of this stuff to make it really, really easy. I use some of these bots every single day, which makes my life a little bit easier. Shows honeypots, deployer wallets. If you want to track wallets, there's so many things that you could be doing here. So we're going to be sharing this to you very, very soon, but there's just going to be a lot of information that you're going to be able to use. All right. Let's talk a little bit about some of these TON projects, because this is really kind of where I've been focused the last maybe 2-3 weeks. What was it? It was like the end of June. I started to get really focused on TON, and there's a reason here, right? Check this out, Boris. This was posted by Shafat at 80K in the Discord last night. It's at 429,000. So this is up maybe about a 4 or 5x already. I bought this at 80K. I was going to sleep last night, so I didn't have a chance to fully post it in my meme coin channel. If you take a look down here, I have Sensei memes where I'm kind of posting what I am buying. So here's kind of the post this morning when I was up. I had said this was posted by Shafat in DGen yesterday at 80,000. If you go into the DGen Gamble channel here, you actually will see Shafat has been talking about this nonstop. So a big shout out to him for getting this one right. He said he was DMing me last night at about, listen, 8:30, I'm in bed. I'm trying not to be on my phone. My wife gets really upset when I'm on my phone, usually at night. We're kind of watching our shows, hanging out with our dog. And so I'm trying to just kind of stay away. But he did a great call here. And this thing is going to continue to keep on rising. So we're excited to be in this. I hope you're along for the ride. This is right now, this is up 785% in the last 24 hours. So that's been a lot of fun. Let me show you some other tokens that we have been talking about in the community. I'm so used to using Dex Screener, so just bear with me here as I navigate this TON watch list. Okay, this should be it. Okay, so there's a few tokens that I think you should be paying attention to right now. Okay, after I did a bunch of research, I noticed that the top 10 to 15 wallets on TSE and TCAT usually were holding some of these tokens. Okay, so they were holding T-Dog, was a really big one that people were holding. This rate is at about 2.3 million. We originally called this, I called this at 1.1 to 1.2 million. This went up to 5.7 million over the last few days. It's since come back down. I still think people are going to FOMO and buy into this token. In the last 6 hours, this thing is up 70%. It dipped to like 1.5 cents. So this has come up dramatically. TON season is back to 14 million. It had a huge cool off. This thing went up to 22 million on Saturday. We originally started talking about this at 350,000 market cap. This thing went up to 22 million, which is really fun to see money grow that fast. Literally, my heart was racing on Saturday. I was at Costco, and I checked my phone when I was driving to Costco, and it was like it's Saturday morning. It started at 10 million. Okay, and then like throughout the day, I would just check my phone. It was like 12 million. All right, and then it went to 14 million. Then it went to 16 million. Then I was like, oh shit, and then it was at 20 million. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Costco and come back. And, I probably need to take some profit when I get back. Sure enough, I went to Costco. It topped out at like 22 or 23 million. By the time I got home from Costco, it was like back down to like 15 million. And I was like, no, I really missed a huge opportunity to take some massive profit. But this one has been a free ride for me. I've taken about $18,000 or $19,000 out. My original investment was about $7,000 in total. My bag currently is still worth probably about $60,000 or $70,000. So this is all profit over the last 10 days that I've made just on this one token called TSE, which is Ton Season. Now, just want to show you this, right? I think TSE is really good. TCAT is another project that I think could be, Ton's ecosystem. This could be a $100 million, $500 million project. This is on a PPP narrative, which is player pump player. I talked about this in last Sensei chat. I will briefly show you what this is about. But these two tokens, TCAT and T Season, are really the tokens I think still have a lot of growth ahead of them. Personally, I am more invested into Ton Season. I did talk about both of these tokens over the last few weeks. So I know some of you guys got into these. I know some of you made some really serious money on these, and I'm still holding majority of my TSE bag. What I want to show you here is there's a lot of kind of fun memes talk about T-Dog. T-Dog is kind of like TCAT. They do a lot of posting with TCAT and T-Dog together. Since TCAT went up to like $30-something million and it's since come back down, I'm hoping T-Dog does similar numbers, maybe 5, 10, 15 million. I do think there's going to be profit to be made here. So I am currently holding my bag, but they always post like these kind of memes with this Ton dog. And so, I think there's money to be made here, okay? And so this whole narrative shift, let me just play this for you because this kind of speaks to it. It's 32 seconds. Let me play this.
There is not one influencer meme coin that is still standing bar Andrew Tate. That is billions of dollars, not from the influencers, but from the people that is lost. And nobody's speaking about it. Nobody's rising up and saying, look, we need to stop this. Not as blaming the influencers and commenting and stuff. We need to stop this by just stop fucking investing in them. And Meow mentioned that. He said, look, if you want to really be a PPP community, you have to just reject the other ones. Because scammers will stop scamming when they stop making money.
All right, scammers will stop scamming when they stop making money. So will this narrative catch on in the Ton ecosystem? I think it could, right? What we're trying to do here in crypto, if you haven't caught on, we are still in a full speculation market, right? We speculate on where we think things are going. We really haven't reached the equilibrium of actually real world utility taking over, and that's really what prices are set at with utility. So we try to notice shift changes in narratives in the market, and then we try to take advantage of getting that information early enough to try to take advantage of that and make money. That's basically all we're doing here. And so there's this new narrative forming on the Ton ecosystem that I think can do really well. And those two tokens I had mentioned, which is TCAT and TSE, are those two PPP community tokens. They're trying to build up organic growth, not have a bunch of shillers, and that's what they're trying to do, okay? And if you take a look at this, the daily active addresses on Ton blockchain has surpassed Ethereum and is still climbing towards Solana. All right? It's still climbing towards, like, you have more people trading on Ton right now than you do on Ethereum. Let that sink in, okay? Ethereum is... Let me just show you this real quick. Hold on 1 second here. Ethereum is a $368 billion ecosystem. Ton is an $18 billion ecosystem, and you have more people trading on Ton right now than you do on Ethereum. What does that tell you? That tells you that there's a shift happening, that people are going to be moving more money into the Ton ecosystem, and that means there's more money to be made for me and you. If you were here 5 or 6 months ago, I was begging you to take a look at the Ton ecosystem. I know a lot of you actually did. What I did was I brought up DeFi Llama, and I just want to show you this really quickly because I know there's some new people joining us today, and you might not know about DeFi Llama, but this is a great place to get some information for free. You can actually look up Ton. When this shift was actually happening, I was bringing it to you live in these chats. Okay. And if you, once this kind of loads right here, I've got a lot of windows open, so just bear with me here. But I was calling this shift as it was happening. And I was telling you all you needed to do to make some pretty easy gains was to look at some of the DEXs, maybe the liquid staking in the ton ecosystem. I mean, even DDoS is up 96% in 1 month, while the rest of the market is falling from the sky. You could have made 100% gains in less than a month, just showing up to these chats and listening, right? Remember in April, right? Or before April that I was telling you about this huge shift. Like we were talking about this like right here, right? And we've come all this way since. And can you imagine where this is going to be 3 or 6 months from now? There's going to be a lot of money to be made here. So please pay attention to this. I can only tell you so many times, please pay attention. This account actually is pretty good. The Crypto Data, I've been following them. They do post a lot of Ton ecosystem stuff. I actually joined their Telegram. I still need to spend a little bit more time, but I'm trying to follow the right people inside of the Ton ecosystem, because following the right people could lead to huge gains and huge knowledge into early projects. One of the things I have been doing is using Ton Viewer. And what I do here is like, let me just show you this real quick. Just so hopefully you can learn something, right? You can take Ton Viewer. Let's go ahead and we'll steal this one right here. Copy paste. We'll bring this up. Let's bring up TSE as the token right here. Copy address. So what you just do here is you search the token that you're wanting to get information on. Okay. Once you search the token here, all right, you can look at the holders, okay? When you're researching meme tokens, community tokens, there's really only a few things that you can look at, right? Because the project has no history, okay? And you're buying in on a feeling, you're buying in on what you're seeing, and just a few data points. One of them is you need to open the Twitter, the Telegram. Okay, you need to look at the postings, but you also need to look at the holders. Who's holding the token? How much are they holding? And what else are they holding? So you can actually click on holders here, and this brings up all of the top holders for TSE. Now, I'm a little bit further down here, just FYI. I'm probably right in this area. I'm not going to tell you exactly which one is my wallet, but I'm right in this area for holding TSE. But you can pull up these just by clicking on any of these links. You can pull this up and you can click on tokens, and you can see what the person is holding besides TSE. And what I noticed when I went through these, right, I noticed a lot of TCAT. I noticed there was T-Dog. I noticed there was a few tokens called PPP and a few other things that I wanted to show you. So I just went through all these. I spent a few hours just clicking nonstop, going through all of these different links, finding, is there any kind of patterns that I can see? Is there other tokens that maybe I don't have? I'm trying to get alpha or information just by kind of going at it the old-fashioned way of just getting down and dirty and actually researching it myself, not waiting for somebody else to tell me what people are doing, but actually go seeing it for myself. And there's a few things I noticed. Okay, so I went through Ton season, and I went through TCAT, and the tokens I noticed the most is player pump player. This is that new narrative that I was talking about. I've noticed that people are holding this token. I noticed that for some reason, people are holding 69 blockchain news. I think this is probably the amount of token that you need to hold to qualify for a certain level on block to news. This is a Telegram news channel. I also saw that people were holding a few other tokens. Let me just kind of pull this up here. I noticed some T-Bohm. I'm not into this. I'm not saying that I would go buy this. I noticed there was T-Frog. I noticed there was, pretty much ton season, TCAT, T-Dog. Some people own this Matt Fury's whale. Ton Shib was something that people bought, but I think this was a honeypot. I fell victim. I bought a little bit of that and lost some money. Green with Cat. This is something that people bought too, but this is actually 1 million tokens. This is $9, $6. So I wouldn't probably buy this, but this person has $2 million in Toncat, which is pretty insane. This person has 1.4 million in TCAT and $27,000 in Ton season. They also have a token called Tonki. This is probably something that is pretty low in market cap too. Let me just pull this up for you. But this is really what you need to do if you're trying to research things yourself. If you instead of kind of going off what people are saying, you just need to look through the top wallets. And there are certain apps that I'm using to track wallets now for the Ton ecosystem, but this is kind of how you do just research, right? This is how you get in and try to explore. As you can see, this market cap is 96,000. This has been out for some time here and it's kind of fluctuated down. This came out June 25th. So this might be something that could explode in the future. What I would do is I would go look at the Twitter, the Telegram, look at people who are posting about this, see there's 461 holders, pay attention to this every day, see if this is growing. These are all things that you can really be paying attention to see if this is something that you want to invest in. So, you know, these pretty much stay away from most of these tokens. Player Pump Player, Ton Season, TCAT. You know, I don't know if this Blockton news is ever going to go anywhere, but these are really the 4 tokens that I've seen people buy the most. Okay. There's also this dog or flower token. Let me just pull this up for you really quickly here. Hold on. Where can I holders? Hold on. Dog or flower. Hold on. I'm in the mess here. Why can't I copy? There it is. That's what I wanted to do. All right. So let me just pull this one up. I think the last time I looked, this is at 1.2 million, give or take. Let me see if this has moved since. This one's down a little bit. This one is at dog or flower price 1.19 million. Yeah, 1.2 million. It's about almost 1140 holders. This one has been growing, so this one has been consolidating here the last few days, last 5 or 6 days. This one might be in for a move, so pay attention to this one too. But those are really the ton tokens I have been buying and trading. Boys Club was another one that I bought some of. I do think it went down after I bought it though, but I'm still holding. And there's also Ton Frog. Like these are right here. Let me just pull this for you. This is the biggest tokens that I've noticed that people are buying. So anyways, that's just spending time going through wallets. I spent like 3 hours yesterday kind of trying to pull and find all this information out. But you know, everyone's sharing, right? And I do think Boris, this token might do well. This is the token that Shafat was, I actually bought a decent amount of this. So we'll see what happens with this token. I really hope we can see this one at 1 million or 5 million or 10 million. I just think, you know, if you pick 5 or 6 of these tokens and you put in, you know, X amount of dollars, I think, you know, in the long run, most of these tokens are going to fail. But I think the 1 or 2 of them that succeeds, I think you're going to make a lot of money personally. All right. Not financial advice, obviously, but those are what I'm doing. There's also Ton Frog, right? What we talked about, which is also a token I bought. So now you're all caught up on the meme tokens on the Ton network. If you're not familiar, Ton is Telegram's blockchain, okay? And that's why I think it's going to go to 100 billion, 200 billion in market cap, and those tokens are going to explode. All right, so I know there's a lot of you that are just right now with the market so down. A lot of you have turned to trading, you know, meme tokens, and so that's kind of what I've been doing. You know, I've it's really hard to make a lot of money when the market is either trading sideways or going down. I am not one to get in and short something. I just don't have enough knowledge to short certain projects. I just don't really want to do with it. And so I just see people having a lot of fun and making some money playing, you know, trading meme coins. And so a lot of people have been trading on Pump Fund. And there's a few things that you could be doing here. Head to Pump Fund, turn off the animations, turn off not safe for work, and begin your search. Fundamentals for every token, Twitter and Telegram are connected. So if you're going to be buying a token on Pump Fund, which is on Solana, make sure the Twitter and Telegram are connected. The website is good, but it says, I wouldn't say it's crucial. There shouldn't be one holder that has some big size of the supply. Owner should interact with its users. Ideas should be funny and unique. You can also join this person's Telegram if you want some more information. But trading patterns, some of these tokens can pump super hard before DEX screener listing, but dump right after. So that's something that if you get into something early enough, maybe take some profit before it goes on to DEX screener, before that initial launch. And then after it gets on DEX screener, wait for that token to dump a bit, and then maybe get into it after the fact if that's what you're looking to do. I would recommend that you trade before DEX Screener, then sell, and then re-enter after. I recommend you starting with one Solana and trading carefully. In my opinion, you should first understand how it works, and it's possible only when you trade. Also, make sure that you're checking your slippage. Sometimes your slippage is set up to an automatic 10 or 15%, and this is how you could also lose money too if your slippage is turned up. But these are just some tips and tricks that you can use to make sure that you are having fun and making money. So just turning off animations here is off, and then includes not safe for work. You can turn this off and on. Okay, there you go. All right. I think I had this on, right? Because I don't want to see, there's some weird things that come up there. There's also meme coins on DEX Screener. So just be very careful with this one. I think probably it's a little safer to use Pump Fund than it is to use Moonshot. Moonshot has been extremely rough. I have not really put any more money into Moonshot. I did some testing when this first launched. What you notice here on Moonshot is that people will buy into this. Usually it's one person that buys a lot of it. And before this actually goes live, you're supposed to hit 500 SOL before it goes live, and liquidity is burned and all that stuff. Usually the one person dumps it and the token tanks. I'm actually going to leave this one up just to show you this as a test. But this is definitely something that people are trying to do right now to make money. But I've just noticed that there's just so many scams on this. We'll come back to this here in just a bit. There's always these things of how somebody turned $50 into 50 grand, which is really, really great. I'm going to go ahead and link these down in the description in the chat if you want that. Can you share which ton wallet you prefer? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me do this. Let me get you the one I am using. So you're asking me what I'm trading using Ton? Yeah, let me do this. I'm pretty sure I use this Dragon. This is the one I use, the trading bot I use. Let me just share this with you. I actually had, like, when you create a wallet on Telegram and it shows you your seed phrase, like I was in there like writing my seed phrase down so I could delete it, because I know people are going to ask me when I'm live streaming and I didn't want my seed phrase to go out. But I will, if you want, I will show you some of the positions that I have. I don't mind. I don't have millions of dollars here, but if you take a look here, I have Boris, that I was talking about here. This position's worth about $4,000. I think my original investment maybe was like $1,000 or $1,200. So I'm up on this position here over the last 24 hours. Let me just show you some other stuff here. Ton season. This is my position here. This is worth $64,000. I'd taken about $18,000 profit out of this. $7,000 was my initial investment, so I've made $12,000 plus whatever this number is currently. So 64,802. This is all profit. So right now, over the last 10 days, I'm up about $75,000 on this one position, trading Ton tokens. There's also T-Ship. This is the one I lost money on. This was a scam, a rug, and so I lost I think like $500 or $600 on that. T-Wolf was something originally posted by a different member in the community. This totally tanked. I lost money on this too. I haven't sold it. It is what it is. T-Dog. This is something that my position is currently worth about 15,000. I've got about maybe 8 grand into this token, maybe 7 grand. So these are really the positions that I currently have. There's T-Frog, which is I have about $2,000 in T-Frog, and Tonk, which is I have about $760. So nothing too crazy on there. And then I bought some PPP. My position on PPP is down some. I originally have about $1,500 or $1,800 into PPP, and this is down about $300 or $400. So overall, I've lost money on some stuff. I've made a decent return on some other stuff. So take that with what you will. All right. I thought this was really, really helpful. Part of you growing and you learning in the crypto space is learning new areas of the crypto space. And one of the areas that I need to get better on personally is charting and looking at different patterns on a chart. I can tell you that I'm definitely getting better at looking at a chart and seeing kind of what's going on and where I think it's going to head. I don't think I can mark up a chart just yet. But we have Kike and we have Sean. that are both TA experts in the community. They have Kike and JP do a chat every Wednesday. I know it's kind of popular with some of you that you guys show up, you learn, you talk about different charts, you talk about different tokens. This is where I think you should be spending some of your time. Okay. I think during this downtime, when the market is trying to figure out what it wants to do, this is the best time to learn, to grow, to reshape the way that you look at things, the way that you think about things, and really try to add those extra tools to your tool belt. Okay. And so these are some of the breakout patterns. You have head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, double top, double bottom, triple top, triple bottom, symmetrical triangle, ascending triangle, wedge, continuation, wedge reversal, channel flag, pennant, descending triangle, and rectangle. And this goes ahead and breaks down each one of those and what those look like on a chart. I'm going to go ahead and link this down for you, but I do hope that you are spending time in the channels, the TA channels, talking with Sean, talking with Kike, talking with JP to really help you grow. All right. All right. What is happening as far as new projects that are not meme tokens or community tokens, whatever it is? Lumia. Lumia. Is it Lumia? I think it's Lumia. So Lumia Hypernodes, one node, multiple licenses. Lumia nodes revolutionizes connectivity, liquidity, decentralized control, and community. I don't know why this keeps changing every 5 seconds or 3 seconds. All right. Can you just click and hold it? No, you can't. All right. That's really, really fun. One node, 3 licenses. Maximize your involvement, flexibility, and efficiency with Lumia Hypernodes licenses. How it works: 50% of the new supply contribute the highest amount of liquidity to the network passively through Lumia's node owner liquidity model. So, well, let's just keep reading and I'll tell you what I think of this really quickly. How it works: earn the highest continued rewards for providing substantial liquidity. Hypernodes can delegate to DAC, DAC, and liquidity nodes using their licenses. Enables flexible and efficient participation in the ecosystem. This pie chart visualizes the breakdown of different node types in the Lumia ecosystem. It represents unique ways you can engage with Lumia Hypernodes. So you have Hypernodes 40%, you have power rewards and delegation 10%, rewards and incentives 50% for Lumia token holders. And then so what do the rewards look like per day? Hypernode rewards, additionally, delegation rewards 10%. New supply, delegate your Hypernode licenses and earn delegation rewards. Learn more. Daily rewards is $102,000. The current price these are going to sell for is $1,000 to start. The max supply is $50,000. And this thing kind of goes to the roof. Okay. So just looking here, you have this is the year. Every year is a halvening where you're going to get half the rewards each year. Now, just keep in mind, this is $102,000 for all of the nodes, right? And it's really hard to say how much you're going to get because we don't know how many nodes will be sold in the beginning. Okay. So the reward for nodes are having every 360 days, and so you get less and less and less up to 10 years. And then emissions, number of Hypernodes owners in year 1, rewards, regular rewards year 1, 85 per day, power rewards 17 per day. So it's really kind of a little confusing on how all this is going to work. There's a purchase guide here where I think it breaks down how to buy these nodes if you are interested. Head over to node.lumia.org, connect your wallet and connect options. And this is where you're going to be able to buy these. USDT is what you're going to want. Looks like on Matic. Yeah, I'll give you some more information here on it in a second, but I'm just trying distribution chart, unlock ecosystem rewards, delegation to DAC nodes, delegation to liquidity nodes, node owned liquidity, run a DNLP node, run a DAC node. I think they could have done a little bit better with explaining how this works. Okay, here's the price step up. Okay, so for every 100 nodes sold, they're going to raise it up in phase 2 $5, and every 100 nodes in phase 3 $10, and then every node's up to phase 9 where they raise $640 per every 100 nodes sold. So this is how it's supposed to look. Price increase, starting price, ending price, average price. So starting price $1,000. Okay. And then as you get down to like 15,000 nodes sold, it gets a little higher. When you get to like 30,000 nodes sold, this is, going to be $2,700. But at the end of this, they're hoping to get, when you get to 50,000, it's going to be $33,000 a node. And this is ending price 64,000. This is kind of really confusing how they have this all situated here. But this is happening pretty soon here. Let me see here. Nodes. I think this is like 7 or 8 days away from the sale happening. Let me see. I want to purchase. Oh man. Okay, hold on. The team reached out to see if I would be interested in talking about this. I wanted to get some feedback from you guys to see if you'd be interested in these nodes. I know that some node projects that we've been very successful on to make a lot of money on. I'm not really sure about this one. I've just started learning about this yesterday. They do have some pretty decent partners: Avalanche, Arbitrum, QuickSwap, Thena, Near, AirSwap, Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin. I believe some of these partners are where it's going to be listed on, right? OKX, 1inch, Metis, Lumia, Eigenlayer. I think a lot of this is where the token's going to be listed in. So I don't know. Have you guys heard of this token before, Lumia? Kike is a genius. Kike is really smart. Why don't you schedule a day also to do a live stream? Need to schedule around. Well, hey, that's not very hard. I live stream on Tuesdays and Fridays. JP and Kike live stream on Wednesdays. Monday, Thursday, wide open for you, brother. Take it with what you want. I don't know. I'm not sure about this token. I don't love the amount of rewards. But I mean, this could launch and the token price could be pretty beefy, right? They've been here since 2018 and building. This is the first hyper liquid restake rolled up L2 for real world assets. So this could be pretty juicy, right? I don't know. I'd love to get some people's opinions on what they think about it. All right, that was pretty useless. Let me see here. With 50% of new supply allocated to Hypernodes, users can delegate, participate, and earn with efficient, dynamic resource flow. Earn the highest continued passive rewards, delegate to boost rewards, or become a tech-savvy node operator. Become eligible to earn additional yields, flexible participation model, and all types of investors. I mean, we definitely know that real-world assets, tokenizing real-world assets is the future, right? This is one of the biggest use cases for blockchain. You're talking trillions, tens of trillions, maybe even hundreds of trillions eventually. Does Lumia capture some of that value? And if it does, how much does it capture? And what kind of token price would we be looking at, right? I think this is supposed to launch at $1 and some change. So, if not a whole lot of nodes get sold right off the bat, this could be pretty lucrative. I think if you got in at the $1,000 level within the next, 12 months, depending on when this launched, I definitely think you could make your money back, right? So I'm pondering maybe buying five nodes, maybe 5 nodes, just to test it out and see how it goes. You really never know how some of this is going to explode or react, but this does look like it's been built for quite some time. It does look like there's a lot of money that's been invested into this. And then they do have a top floor talk, 1inch full interview, co-founder, and discussing how Lumia or I think it's originally Orion, is constantly improving the 1inch experience for millions of users. So this could be something that you guys might want to watch in your spare time. But I'm going to put out a poll to see if you guys are interested in participating in this node sale. All right. I'll put like 1 node, 5 nodes, 10 nodes. I doubt anyone's buying that many nodes, but I'll put out a poll. I will post it after I have to go and pick up a medical device. I'm doing a sleep test tonight, so I have to jet here in just a little bit. But anyways, I will post some more details about this in my update for Sensei Chat. French government calls for a new 90% tax on any annual income above 400,000. I don't know if this is going to happen, but that's pretty insane. Summary of Fed Chair Powell's testimony, 7/9/2024. Quarter 1 2024 data did not support confidence in inflation and path to rate cuts. Rate cuts not appropriate until greater confidence in inflation is heading to 2%. Cutting rates too late could undoubtedly weaken the economy. The U.S. economy is expanding at a solid pace. Labor market conditions have cooled but remain strong. Elevated inflation is not the only risk we face. The Fed needs more data. Basically, what they're saying, guys, is they feel they don't have enough data to start dropping interest rates. That inflation is not at their 2% goal. It is still high above. They're still fighting it, and they're going to keep rates higher longer. Okay? There's only about three or four different more meetings left in this year. I don't know if we're going to get a rate cut this year. Maybe. It's really going to take something catastrophic happening for the Fed to really start lowering interest rates, I feel. So I wouldn't expect it here in the next meeting or two. GDP growth estimates are plummeting. The most recent Atlanta Fed estimate for real U.S. GDP quarterly growth in quarter 2 of 2024 is down to 1.7%. This estimate is down from 4.2% seen mid-May and from 2.2% seen in June 28. And this estimate turns out to be correct. It will be the second consecutive quarter of GDP growth below 2% after quarter 1 2024 GDP of 1%. So the economy is still in bad shape, okay? COVID completely wrecked all of the first world countries. It wrecked every country, okay? The U.S. had fought back and gotten inflation down faster than most of its counterparts, but it's still a huge problem, okay? Growth is a huge problem right now. And depending who wins, I mean, who's left alive to win in November, right? I think both of these people that are running are way too old to be running. But whoever wins, I am a little worried on both sides now, right? I think when you saw the debate, the presidential debate, Biden looks really old, really frail. I don't agree with Trump's policies and his putting a 10% tariff tax on all imports. Who do you think ends up paying that, right? It's the consumer. That would send inflation to the roof. So both of these people have interesting policies that I can't really get behind right now. It's going to be kind of scary what happens come November. We're sitting on one of the biggest housing bubbles since 2006. If you don't remember, 2008 was the financial crisis, the housing bubble, subprime rate mortgages. There is now a record of 299,000 new homes for sale in the southern U.S. states, according to Venture. This is even higher than 2006, a year before the housing market crash began. The number of new houses for sale in the South has nearly doubled in just 4 years. Meanwhile, new home sales have officially dropped below pre-pandemic levels for the first time. This would take 9 months current new inventory to sell it if it's sold at the current pace without new inventory coming into the market. Second longest duration since 2009. This is a problem. Now, this could be one of many things. Okay, this could be people are foreseeing that the economy might be heading for some rough waters come late 2025, and people are trying to get out of these investments because they think the market could crash. This could also be that people can't afford. Not everybody is on a fixed rate. Most people are on a fixed rate, but when you buy a home, you can get a fixed rate or you can get one that fluctuates with the market. And so this could be people not being able to afford their home or their second home or their third homes. It could be a number of things, but truth is, when you have this much inventory already on the market and more inventory is coming, this is not going to be good for housing prices overall. Kai is at 10.5 million. We rebounded here. We went down to about 4 point something million. We rebounded to 10.5. If you remember, I had originally posted this around 450,000. This went up to 20 million, giving you about a 37 to 40x on your return at the high point. We are still at 10.5 million, which is a nice zesty 22x still. neutral. I sold probably about 40 to 50% of my position at like this point, and I bought back a little something kind of when we were down here at this $4 or $5 million mark. So we'll see. I think my Kai bag is worth about 35 grand. I've already taken about 40 or 50 grand out of this. So I'm really excited, really happy for that play. Funding rates have hit the lowest point this year, sitting at a neutral. Open interest has vanished. A hefty long liquidations have taken place. The odds of a market upswing are looking better. It's just a matter of time. Here you go. Remember we looked at this in March. This was all like bright orange and red, like bright orange, like this color. So you can see things have really cooled off. I do think the market is getting ready for another move. Here's some potential. I like this person's kind of look out on different assets here. OPSEC, this person thinks OPSEC could go to 1 to 5 billion, which would be 40x. Carrot, potential 5 billion, 50x. Blender, 50x. Hashai, 50x. OXO, 50x, 10 billion. VRA, 100x at 3 billion. Gala, could you imagine a Gala 25x from the current price? I would lose my shit. 50-cent Gala, I mean, I think my nodes that I bought way back when, they still produce maybe, I think 5,000 Gala a day, give or take, right? So, I mean, a 50-cent Gala, you'd be making 80 or 90 grand a month, 70, 80 grand a month. I would really care for that. One thing I wanted to bring up is I haven't heard of Farcaster nodes. I don't know if this is a new thing. I was trying to ask JRE if he had heard about this. Looks like Farcaster XYZ is sufficiently decentralized social network and is an open protocol that can support many clients, just like email. Farcaster raised $180 million in funding from Paradigm, A16Z, and others, which is a lot of money. But you can launch one of these nodes and support the network early. And to do that, I think you might be qualified for some type of airdrop. I would go ahead and maybe research this a little bit better. I just saw this before I was coming on air. I wanted to share that to see if anyone is interested or has any information on that. I posted that. All right, let's talk a little bit about Solana here. How high can Solana go by 2025? Rob Paul, here's your prediction for Solana.
If Solana's at 200-ish today, right, for it to go up 100% would be, in crypto summer, would be highly unusual. At least 300% would be pretty standard. That would be ETH all-time highs versus the previous all-time highs of that high. So that will put it 600. So let's mark that as like, that's a reasonable spot. If I use a few charts and a bit of, log charts, I get somewhere between 800 and 1200.
Wow.
In a complete bubble cycle, I think it can go above 2000. In a short stunted cycle, 750, something.
Wow, a low of Solana of 750, a high of 2000, right? Solana is at $140. So I know there's some people out there that are looking for lower risk investments, right? They don't like meme coins, don't like community coins. They don't even like maybe top 1,000 coins. They want something that is very secure. Instead of putting your money into Bitcoin and getting a 2x, possibly a 3x if you're lucky, or Ethereum getting the same type, Solana is probably still a really good choice to make 5. Why is Solana the choice? Why what is happening on Solana that is making it a choice for a lot of these bigger name influencers to talk about, right? And so we talked about this, I think, a week and a half ago when this actually happened, the day that this launched. Actions and Blinks bring Solana to where people are. Vote, buy coffee, play games on X. The design space for developers is wide open. P.S. You can apply for grants and open source Blink contributions. Let me play this.
So you may have been seeing a little bit of hubbub on the site formerly known as Twitter about Solana actions and Blinks. And to give you a quick overview of what's actually going on here, Solana actions and Blinks are our attempt to meet users where they are. Right. We want to push crypto to the edge. We want to break crypto out of its little corner of the internet. And we want to show people that there's lots of cool things to do on chain. Starting with the first one, notifications. You can imagine, hey, you're about to get liquidated and you need to top up margin, you're going to get a push notification that's like, hey, like, let's get you out of Dodge. And so you don't really need to make a ton of decisions other than like, hey, I need to get out of here. So you might click that. Maybe you need to close out your position, whatever you need to do. You want to be able to hit that straight from the push notification. There's also other places where actions might show up. On the next one here is QR codes. So if you've ever bought a coffee at one of the Solana hacker houses, you've actually almost certainly used this before. Wallets, mobile wallets, things like TipLink, Phantom Backpack, they have the support for the Solana Pay transaction request spec. So you are paying the merchant $5 for a coffee. You scan a QR code, and the QR code has enough information in that payload for the mobile wallet to remotely execute that transaction. With messaging, if you've used the Dialect Messenger in the past, you'll know that a lot of the smart messages there around buying, selling NFTs, sending NFTs, that sort of stuff, and sending tokens were just messages, right? But those messages used, they were called smart messages and used this spec, again, formerly called Solana Pay transaction request, but effectively allows you to make portable that particular transaction. So really, really conducive for things like messaging. Go to the next one. We've seen it in the context of Blinks, which we'll talk about in just a second, but being able to have something on Twitter, like maybe a poll, having a couple different options, maybe you're betting on a horse race or something and you want to get it right into Twitter. That's another place where you might see this showing up. And the last one is in the URL. And this is because the actions endpoint ultimately can be URL encoded and passed around as a string. You can send that as a query parameter into something like TipLink and have an embedded wallet experience. So you can kind of introduce these transactions into places that maybe didn't expect to have that access.
Part of being a successful blockchain is having people come and build on your blockchain. And Solana has all of those things right now. Okay. I know sometimes it's slow. Sometimes transactions don't go through. Sometimes things don't work, but they're figuring it out. And I think Solana is probably it could be bigger than Ethereum one day very soon. Right. And, when you take a look around, look at some of these numbers, right? Solana is down 33%. Bonk is down 47%. Radium is down 50%. Render is down 53%. Jupiter is down 60%. Helium is down 71%. Myro is down 76%. Orca, 83%. Wormhole is down 85%. Zeus Network, 85%. Prism is down 93%. Right? Even blockchains that actually have utility are down up to 97%. Oh, Whales token. Yeah. But seriously, these numbers are insane. So I know it hurts when you look around and you see, a few projects that you're in down 30, 40%. Just understand that other people are down much, much more than what you're down right now. Once the market does start turning around, right, there's a lot of opportunity here, and I hope you understand that. And then, of course, Rand from Crypto Banter. I don't agree with everything Rand says, but hey, he's right about this. Let me play this.
And then yesterday, we actually saw something quite interesting, and I'll tell you what we saw yesterday, which is very, very, very interesting, specifically for people who are following Solana. I think we're going to get a bit of a Solana season now, and I think it's going to be quite a crazy Solana season, and you're kind of seeing it here. When you look at the recovery of this cycle, this blue line here is actually Solana. And the rest are all the other L1s. And you can see that Solana had a much, much, much quicker recovery than all the L1s. And there's very exciting, very interesting things happening in Solana. So what's happening in Solana? Why am I so excited? First thing is, you'll remember that Van Eck filed for a Solana ETF. And I was kind of surprised. I said, hold on, why is Van Eck applying for Solana ETF, spot ETF, when there's no futures ETF? Okay, well, yesterday that changed. Because what they did was, they also applied yesterday for a futures ETF at the CBOE. Now, what we know about futures ETFs is that futures ETFs get approved much quicker than spot ETFs, right? Spot ETFs have taken notoriously long to approve, and futures ETFs have been quite quick to approve. What we also know is that in these applications that Van Eck applied yesterday, they clearly label Solana as a commodity. And so there's a massive there's a massive chance that the spot ETFs, that the futures ETFs will be approved way quicker than the spot ETFs. At that point, there will be futures ETFs approved, which will mean that the SEC has to approve spot ETFs. Otherwise, they're going to be arbitrary and capricious. So we may get a triple whammy here, or a double whammy. The first one is we may get a confirmation. It's hard to say confirmation because with the SEC, nothing's confirmed. But we may get a confirmation that SOL is actually a commodity. We then could get a SOL futures ETF, and the SOL futures ETF might actually lead the way into a SOL spot ETF. Either way, I do believe that with all this momentum, it would be very, very, very hard to believe that the next ETF is not going to be a SOL ETF. And what Eric Balcuna says, it says, looks like Solana ETFs are going to have the final deadline of mid-March 2025. But between now and then, the most important date is in November. If Biden wins, these are likely DOA, dead on arrival. If Trump wins, anything's possible. And
yeah. Anyways. Velo down, right? Velo protocol, the potential to hit similar levels as margin gains. This person put this out right now. Is Velo really that low? Wow. Velo at 61 million. Insane. Okay. This person's comparing it to Matic, right? How Matic exploded 15,700%. $2.87%. This person has a lot here. So Velo is essentially the same price that Matic was in 2020, 2020, riding just under 2 cents. The market cap was around 200 million. Remember, we had originally posted Velo at 0.002. It went up to 2.7 cents, which is about a 11 or 12x. Always good to take profit when you're up, 1,000% in a few months, my friends. But anyway, circulating both projects is very similar, although I wasn't able to confirm the exact circulating supply of Matic the same day. Currently, Velo circulating supply is 7.39 billion, and Matic circulating supply was 9.89 billion. The last cycle top for Matic was around 12/26/2021. It's valued at 2.876 with a market cap of $20 billion. The most exciting thing for me is comparing Velo currently at Matic of 12/20/2020. That is just hard to say on my tongue. Velo absolutely shattering Matic with over 104 million versus 10.4 million. In this, my opinion, it tells me that could see Velo move come much faster than Matic did. As mentioned before in previous posts, Velo and Matic current market cap of 6.6 billion in the price of about 88 cents. That would be a 46x from this post. Velo with Matic all-time high 20 billion. That would be 135x. I still think Velo is a great call. I don't know if we're gonna reach 85 cents, but I definitely think Velo could go 25 cents. Maybe if the market is killing it, it could do 50 cents. I'm still definitely very bullish on Velo. Let's just take a look at this Trump token and see what happened. Hey, it's still here. I'm surprised. We're not quite where it needs to be to send it over to the thing, but I will follow up on this later. I think that's pretty much the chat, guys. I did think this was pretty insane. I can't play this because of the music, but this is a full factory now of robots building stuff in China. China has unveiled a 24/7 robot-operated factory to produce Xiaomi phones, dubbed a dark factory by the brand's head. That is pretty insane. All right. Thank you for watching, YouTube. You guys have a good one. I'm going to spend a few minutes talking with the community.